Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a few working theories as to where the secret map in Battlefield 6 Season 5 is located, on top of going over a ton of details you may have missed regarding the Battlefield 6 2026 roadmap that was just announced yesterday. Before we get into things, I also want to announce that every single piece of YouTube content that I produce will now be automatically uploaded onto Spotify. Spotify is a massive untapped resource for content, and I know a lot of you guys use it just in your day-to-day, and it might be more convenient for some of you to watch my content on Spotify. So if you're interested, drop my Spotify channel a follow. It'll be linked in the description and the pinned comment. I have a team of people that are working on moving all my content over there right now, so if I upload a new video, it might not appear until about a day after, but we're all working as fast as we can, and I'm going to make sure it is consistent for you guys. So let's start going over this stuff. If you enjoy the channel, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and drop a comment what you think about all this stuff. The first thing I want to cover is the secret Season 5 map they teased in the roadmap announcement yesterday. There has already been a ton of speculation as to what this map could potentially be just based off of this little teaser image. Some people have said Dawnbreaker. I suggested Sunken Dragon, which I now don't think that is the case. Some people were even suggesting this could be Las Vegas because of the colors being reflected in this puddle on a street. But then, as of today, some people on Reddit noticed something interesting that appeared in the Battle Pass that went unnoticed for about 24 hours. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of the roadmap itself, you can see take the target and then coordinates listed above the secret map image. If you plug these coordinates in, you'll be led to Los Angeles, California, specifically near the downtown LA/Little Tokyo area of Los Angeles. The people on Reddit that discovered this were very quick to point out that Battlefield has had a map in the downtown Los Angeles area called Downtown. This was a map featured in Battlefield Hardline. And as soon as I saw this post, it jogged my memory of a temporal post from May of 2025. And in this post, he says, friendly reminder, hints in the Battlefield Labs files also suggest remastered versions of 2 more maps for Battlefield 6. The first one is Tala Market, but what is the second one? Downtown from Battlefield Hardline. So I don't know, guys. Things are lining up here in a very specific sort of way. This isn't officially confirmed to be Downtown from Battlefield Hardline, but as far as I'm concerned, all signs are pointing to the fact that the secret map in Season 5 is going to be Downtown. If this does turn out to be the case, this is going to be super awesome because I think a ton of people in the Battlefield community pretty much completely forget about and totally write off everything that happened in Battlefield Hardline. But what I think a lot of people miss is the fact that Battlefield Hardline had some of the best Battlefield infantry maps in the history of the entire franchise. Another map I wouldn't mind seeing again is actually Bank Job from Hardline. If you're a Hardline enjoyer, you know about these infantry maps, okay? Some of these were actually fucking insane. The next thing I want to go over has to do with one of the new maps coming to Battlefield 6, this time in Season 4, Suru Reef. If we take a look at this image here, you can see there's a very familiar looking hotel on the right side of the image. Does anyone recognize this? It's basically the Hainan Resort Hotel from Battlefield 4. DICE specifically mentioned this map will be even larger than Galmud Railway. So taking a look at this concept art, there are multiple areas in upper corners and even under text in this image that are potentially playable. First off, actually under the concept art text itself, you can see there is what looks to be an airstrip here with a couple of very large structures. And then above the hotel, you see this other section of this island that is burning. And just above that, you see a aircraft carrier in the distance. And in the video, they did specifically mention you can lift off of aircraft carriers with aircraft again. So I wouldn't be surprised if that aircraft carrier is one of the team's deployments or HQs. How much of this playable area is going to be water for naval warfare? I think that remains to be seen. If this map is larger than Galmud Railway, there is likely more to be seen outside of just the single concept art. In terms of other things you may have missed, some people were quick to point out that in one of the sections of the trailer, there was a section that featured the F-18 Hornet. Some people were speculating that this might be actually the two-seater Hornet variation, but that was quickly shot down. This is going to be the classic one-seat F-18 Hornet version, and that's a really cool jet. I know there have been versions of the F-18 in previous Battlefield games. I just hope they can improve the vehicle gameplay enough to where maybe playing in jets will come back on this channel, because many of you might only know me as an infantry player, but I'm not just an infantry player. I do play in jets and a bunch of helicopters and vehicles if the gameplay is, well, not in the state that it's in, which is catastrophically unbalanced. Before I wrap this video up, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Do you guys care about DICE adding so many remastered maps to Battlefield 6? If all of these leaks regarding the Season 5 secret map are accurate and Downtown does return, that would be yet another remaster being added to the game on top of Wake Island, Galmud Railway, and Grand Bazaar. And looking at the roadmap, the only truly new piece of content to the Battlefield franchise or universe is Suru Reef, and then potentially whatever the other two Season 5 maps are if we do indeed get 3. I've seen a lot of people react to all of the news extremely positively regarding all of the remasters. It's very clear a lot of people are very in favor of this, but I've also seen quite a few people react negatively to it because in their mind, having all of these remastered maps isn't technically new content. And I've seen a lot of people say that in their minds, this is DICE just being lazy or playing it safe, taking the easy way out. I can kind of see both points of view. In my opinion, if adding a map from a previous game like Grand Bazaar completely avoids adding some piece of shit new map like Blackwell Fields, then that's obviously completely worth it. But at the same time, I don't want a lot of the new content or the majority of the new content being remastered maps. You know, at a certain point, it's like, okay, let's have like an original idea, guys. I just don't want a situation like Call of Duty where they bring back a map like Nuketown or Shipment for the upteenth time, and it just completely destroys the novelty of playing a very famous map that, you know, people do enjoy, but it just gets old at a certain point. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to make it sound like Battlefield is at the verge of making some of these maps get old because they're remastering them. It isn't like they are adding some of these maps in every single Battlefield title regardless of setting. I just kind of wanted to pick your brains about that, open the conversation about whether or not you really care about the amount of remasters Battlefield 6 is going to be receiving. So that is going to wrap this video up, guys. Be sure to check out the Spotify. If you enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button on the channel, hype button, leave a comment about all this stuff. And also check out the second channel where I talk about one of my hobbies and share my experience with that there. So if you want to see like a different side of the channel, check out the other channel. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.